My name's Tim Shaeffer. I'm Director of Policy Planning and Communications with the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. 60%, a full 60% of the Sport Fish Restoration and Boating Trust Fund comes from the federal fuels tax that's for motorboat engines. The transfer of that money from the federal treasury to the Fish and Wildlife Service needs to be reauthorized this year as part of the transportation bill. And Congress needs to act on that by September 30th of this year. Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission gets about $13 million a year from the Sport Fish Restoration and Boating Trust Fund.
That's in the state?
The state, yes. And that equates to about 25% of our budget. And so literally we could not work on projects like this here at Nesbitt Park or on our own boat launches without that federal support. This project here, we were able to contribute about $275,000 in grant money to what was about a $360,000 project. Those funds came from the Sport Fish Restoration and Boating Trust Fund. And again, part of that is what needs to be reauthorized this year by Congress. That is, yep, that's in the materials. And I also have some literature material in here that shows you the breakdown of our budget. And here it shows that here's where Sport Fish Restoration and Boating Trust Fund, the 26% of our budget annually. And this has been shown to be a really good investment for businesses. It's got about a 27-to-1 return on investment. It's been shown that without these excise taxes, there would not be fisheries management agencies like we have today. We wouldn't be able to do fisheries management projects to improve the recreational fishing that's out there, and wouldn't be able to provide the access that we do. So what we're doing today is briefing Congressman Barletta on the need for the funding and letting him know how important it is for that reauthorization to take place in the committee of which he's a member of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. And all we're saying is that the Marcellus industry should pay for the costs that they're generating. We estimate that to really do our job correctly would cost us about $1.6 to $2 million a year, and we think we need 13 staff members on board to adequately implement that work. Another part of the money, and this is the reason we wanted to talk to you today, there's an excise, there's a motorboat fuels tax. The fuels tax is levied on motorboat fuel in Pennsylvania and across the country. It's about 18 cents a gallon. Those monies are collected into the Treasury. They go to the Fish and Wildlife Service and they get distributed back to states to use on projects like this.
Okay.
About 6 minutes all described in here. I'll give this to your staff.
So like a gas tax for everybody?
It is, but it's actually for boating projects.
Okay.
And what's at issue this year is the transfer of that money from the Treasury to the Fish and Wildlife Service needs to get reauthorized as part of the transportation bill. It's always been reauthorized in the past. We haven't been told it's not going to this year, but we just wanted to be proactive with you. We had met with Congressman Altmeyer out in Pittsburgh, saw Congressman Meehan, since you're on the Transportation Committee together.
Good. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do they transfer the total amount, or do they keep some?
They transfer the fuels tax, the total amount goes, yep, for its intended purposes.
Do they supplement it with any more?
Not that I know. No, this is the
basically
source. Yep. This is where the fuels tax is collected. This is what it's used for. It's part of what's called the user benefits model. And anglers and boaters are the ones paying for it. They should get the benefits from it. And so what we've been able to do, I'll give you these also, in the last 5 years, we've invested about $615,000 in grants in your district for projects like this.
Right.
This is an example, and Jim can tell you how sort of the matching was put together. We gave $275 out of the motorboat fuels, but there was more money that went into it.
Yeah, I mean, you've been down here before. I mean, you used to take your life in your hands driving down the dirt road, and we saw a need for the boat launch, especially with all of the work that we've done on the other side of the river. So we were able to put together a true partnership of all levels of government with, the Fish and Boat Commission bringing in their dollars, with the state DCNR providing nearly $500,000 in funding, and then the county through its bond issue picked up the balance of this. And then at the end of the day, the city of Wilkes-Barre ultimately is the one responsible for the operation and maintenance of the facility. So everybody worked together, and we now have a double boat launch. We used to only have a single one here, as well as a soft launch for the canoes and kayakers. 2 weeks ago, we had over 200 paddlers coming through here for Riverfest. We had dragon boats on Sunday. We had all sorts of things. So we're starting to see a market improvement in the use of the river, especially by the people in the community. We've seen things like jet skis out here, which that was almost the big one. That doesn't happen down here, and
pontoon boats showing up. There was one here last night.
That's right.
A lot more usage of the river over the last several years with the parking.
And we've actually, got an outfitter that now is setting up here on weekends and at nights, renting kayaks that you can go out to people to finally get back into the river.
So as the transportation bill comes before you and your colleagues, we just wanted to keep this on your radar screen.
Sure.
And it's really that transfer of making sure the money gets transferred from Treasury to Fish and Wildlife Service to go after these grants. Not ask it to increase it, not ask them to change it, just to make sure it's keep it the way it is. Yep.
Sure. And then that's fair because that's they're paying the tax. You should be able to benefit from it.
Yep.